Yes, so it's okay, it's all right. Una do, una well done. Una well done, una do. Una welcome to my page again. We don't carry am come as we dey do am always. State of the nation. Where we dey totori una, dey give una as una dey go on top our obodo Naija. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our page so that una go dey know as e dey go on top as e dey go for our obodo Naija. Without wasting much of our time, make we go into the show on top Serere Werere and Weresere levels. Wetin carry us come today again? Una know wetin dey make the round wave on top as e dey go. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and that of Senator Akpabio wey be the Senate president for our obodo Naija. With me today, I dey with our regular person on top as e dey go. That is Malam Aminu Gada on top as e dey go. Na him come here come digest us on top as e dey go. Malam Aminu, you are welcome on the program.
Thank you, Abdullahi. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me on the program once more again.
Yes, so Queen Sarah, what will be Ayamako Bogun. Who God has blessed, no man can cause. Let's dive into the program on top Serere Werere and Weresere levels. Nigerian Senate, they don't take another turn following the recommendations of the Senate Committee on Ethic Privilege and Public Petitions. The Senate, they don't suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months, stating that the Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan say she violate plenty on top as e dey go, and she's found guilty of all allegations due to her failure to comply with the committee's proceeding. Beyond the suspension, including withdrawal of her salary, plus including security details, all this one na im dem put together for her, say make she dey go. On top this one, Malam Aminu, how you think or wetin be your own take on top this suspension? 6 good months na im dem give am make she go. Wetin be your own take on top this one?
Honestly, I'm not with the Senate on the level of punishment.
Okay.
Suspending a senator elected by his people for 6 months is too harsh. I know for a fact that there are Senate standing rules which she actually violates, but notwithstanding, there is also a constitutional provisions that mandate suspension of a National Assembly member not maximum of 2 weeks. So some of this,
14
yes,
days.
14 days. And there is this saying in the law, I'm not a barrister. Any law inconsistent with the Constitution is null and void. So honestly, the punishment is harsh. And the other part of it that make it too harsh is withdrawal of her security details. At a time of controversy of that nature, she needs to be protected. After all, she is a woman. There is also this need for us to show empathy because of this gender sensitivity and gender issues or gender mainstreaming are global issues. They are international issues. Nigeria should not go into such controversy too much. But as far as I'm concerned, I have followed the case. There is a lot of inadequacies and inconsistency on the part of Senator Natasha. When something happened, please report at the right time. Not until when there is issue or controversy around you, then you now keep that one aside and raise up a different thing. If she had raised this in November 2023 when she said the Senate President attempted to commit sexual harassment on her, she should have reported the matter. People like me will come to the air, will go on Facebook, will go on Twitter in her support and in her defense. But I'm not with her, not in support of the Senate President or exonerating him from any wrongdoing. But honestly, she have not reported the case at the right time. On the issue of changing her seat, yes, the standing rule of the Senate...
Before we even go to changing of her seat now, that you said she did not report the case at the right time. Okay, now let's say maybe she has been taking it as if maybe he's not serious about it. But not that it's a kind of bullying her. Said it, that the senator has been banning her on her privileges. Whatever it is that she raised, the senator will just bounce it back. Maybe this is why
the issue of whether she actually give him a benefit of doubt or not does not arise.
Okay.
She is a learned person. She is a senator of her own rights. She is a married woman on top of that. So how can you be being a senator of the Federal Republic as well as a married woman and take issue of sexual harassment lightly? She already have a voice. She is not a woman in a village. As far as I'm concerned, there is no reason whatsoever to sweep the matter under the carpet. She have not done the right thing at the right time. That is why she is paying the consequences. And I'm not also collaborating or saying what she is accusing the Senate president. At times, women of her nature or of her exposure usually take issues of gender when there is crisis to cover or to have a hiding place or to win the battle. So only investigation that can actually rebuild or unravel what is there.
So based on what happened, could we say is the changing of the seats that warrant this suspension or her attitude to the Senate?
You see, the reason why I say I'm not in her support, her reaction when the seat was changed. You see, everything, the Senate is an institution. That is why no senator was on her side. It's because of that attitude she demonstrated. The presiding officer of the Senate have control of the session. Every senator is binding by his order. If you have any reservation, there is personal explanation, a provision that mandates a senator to come under personal explanation and raise a point of order that so privileges on him has been violated. And the Senate will be on his bench. Changing seat is the provision in the Senate. You see, any organization, apart from the constitution that she is actually claiming her basic rights. Yes, there are rights enshrined in our laws or in our constitution, but equally organizations and institutions have their own internal mechanism. Other process. Once you are a member, you are binding by those provisions.
We understand that. But I think this is not the first time changing of seat caused kasala inside the Senate. If you could remember, during the 8th Senate, even the sitting presiding officer, that the Senate president now, during the 8th Senate, during Bukola Saraki as the Senate president, you know, the same drama happens there. And the current presiding officer was not suspended just because he agitated that his seat was not properly allocated to him or so. But why now that just because of Senator Natasha, is it because she's a woman?
No, the two scenarios are different. You see, I also agree with you that presiding officers usually use that privilege of changing seat to frustrate people that are not loyal to them. You see, Natasha came through the courts. She did not win an election. And she cross-carpeted to PDP because her party, SDP, is not a strong opposition. Joining opposition will add some privileges to her because PDP is the major minority party. And being a member, there are a lot. Her level of there are a lot of advantages. The power in opposition it will now increase. Notwithstanding, the Senate president may use it if she is not loyal to change it for her. But if I were her, there are other senators sitting down at the back door. They are also allies. They are very close to I can mention names. So Senate president, there is this Senator Lawal Adamu Usman Musala from Kaduna. He is sitting at the last 109 Senate, but he is very influential. Since 1999, I have not seen a senator in Kaduna State that have actually influenced development into his constituency like Senator Mustala. He is a backbencher.
Let's think of it this way.
Maybe he has provided scholarship over 500 million.
Maybe this senator
he has built over 500 classrooms. Do you know what
maybe these senators
over 100 classrooms?
They are afraid of saying or afraid of talking so that they will not be bullied just the same way Natasha has been bullied now. See, maybe that's why they've not been saying anything.
I totally disagree with you. There are names in the Senate that are as powerful as the Senate president. Where is the Alirus? Where are the Shehis? Where are the Magatakardas and Juma Gojas of the Senate?
See, no matter how influential or powerful you are, you know that seat that you are as a presiding officer, you can do and undo.
Doing the right thing requires doing it at the right time. And that is where she had problem as a lawyer. That is why there was no senator in her support. We have the likes of Ahmed Lawan. Is he a Senate president?
Can we say that is why there's no senator in her support as that regards, or the senator
is the level of her arrogance to Afabio and the level of controversies she generated for the Senate. That is why no one was able to support her. You see, there is this standing rule in the Senate. When there is matter that you want the Senate to intervene, you have to discuss it in the Senate first before any media houses. But this sexual harassment, she raised it at the studio of Arise TV. With you understand?
Okay, could that be the reason or
That
behind a
yes,
suspension?
that is the major reason.
But they are hiding behind another reason to suspend
No,
her.
there are
Because
too
what they
many.
told her is for a failure to comply with Order 6.
Order 6. That is what I'm telling you. The breaches are too many. I can mention 3. Apart from that one, there is another one. Signing the petition personally is also against the provisions of the standing rules of the Senate.
But that petition has been withdrawn and she got another person to sign it for her and submitted it again.
You see, for a lawyer and a senator of her own right to violate all those things, it gives the Senate impression that by hook or by crook, she wants to force a decision in her favor. And that is why nobody supported her. Okay. Believe me, don't forget the Nigerian outcry, forget the public opinion. Sometimes it doesn't go in line with the provision of the law. You can take the River State case as an example. People were hailing, including the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, they were hailing Fubara for the notorious decision he have taken simply because they have political scope to settle with FCT minister. But all his decisions, if you are a pure Democrat, you know they are not in tandem with democratic principles. There is gross violation of a lot of constitutional provisions. In a democracy, you can't decide. As a governor, you are not a judge. You can't decide that this one have vacated his seat, who is a member or not. We should know this even if we are not lawyers. How can a governor come out publicly and declare the seat of 27 members vacant and insist that 3 members are the lawful constituted assembly and he is using them to pass a constitutional mandate on behalf of the state? Honestly, the Babura is anti-democratic element. So these are some of the things you see in the Senate. People doesn't know they have a learned and professional in that chamber. I can mention names. So some of they know as you are talking, if you are right, they know if you are wrong. Look at Munguno. You see him like a village man, but he is a strong lawyer.
Yeah, I know we have senior lawyers there. Even Senator Akpabio himself. We have a Senate leader that is there. Even as Akpoti Uduaghan herself, she's a lawyer. Yeah. So now, let's come back to this petition submitted now. And let's come back to this ethic committee that they are supposed to hold the sittings at the court injunction given to them that they should not sit. And despite that, they went ahead and sit. What do you have to say to that?
I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to make a serious commentary about expertise order. But we have seen what happened in Kano under chieftaincy title dispute between Emir 1 and Emir 2. Courts giving orders, contrary orders. So on that one too, we need sanity. You understand? And she may have a court order that is not served to the National Assembly. And she will use it to hide. I'm not defending the National Assembly. But you see,
but they received it. Even the Senate spokesperson, that's Yemi Adaramodu, said it, that they received it. They received the court order, but he was trying to say 1 or 2, hiding it. But he said he arrived at the committee.
It is unfortunate that the highest lawmaking body in the country have disregarded a court order. It is unfortunate.
This suspension, whatever came within hours.
They harshly passed that resolution. But if you observe the sitting of the Senate, it's not a kind of investigative something. It is just a motion presented by the chairman of the Committee of Ethics and Privileges.
Even before that motion, when Senator Akpoti Uduaghan was on her feet saying that, shouting order 10, order 10, that's during the arrangement of the seat, shouting order 10. If you can hear underneath, the Senate president is already saying it, arrange for her suspension. Arrange for her suspension. Meaning, even before the sitting, the suspension has been predetermined.
It's actually not fair. If that is actually the case, if I were Fabio, I will handle it differently. I will step aside. I will ask the DSP, the Deputy Senate President, to preside over the session, even if Natasha is going on suspension. Having a unanimous Senate decision, him presiding, said a lot of things and will generate more controversies, and people will not understand the level of compromise or the level of offense Senator Natasha have committed against the institution of the Senate, not even against the apartment. So the issue of that allegation is one hand, and the issue of violating those rules is another. So the senators decided to protect the institution. They are eminent Nigeria. You see, the Senate is a very big institution. They are the highest lawmaking body in this country.
If you say they are trying to protect the Senate institution, now will you describe the Senate, 10th Senate, under the leadership of Senator Akpabio?
Yeah, it is a democracy at work. There is no concluded remark yet. They are in their halfway result, but they have gotten a lot of controversies, and it's not unusual with the National Assembly or any other assembly you can imagine. But the person in charge, the presiding leader of the Senate, has a lot of controversy if you check his political history, and that is where the problem is coming. As far as issue of character and issue of morality, to some commentators, he is the least person qualified, so qualified to be. But if you look at other democratic principles, he is among the people that he should be considered actually to be the Senate president. In the South, I have not seen any
should
senator.
Be considered,
yes,
regardless of the character.
The issue of character is a serious issue, but like I told you, is the history of the controversies. I'm trying to tell you. I'm not damaging his character. As far as I'm concerned, Fabio is eminently qualified, is among the top-ranking leaders in the country. But as far as issue of character is concerned, he has a lot of controversies. If you check his political journey, he has acquired a lot of experience. But the challenge is that as PDP Governors Forum chair, there was a controversy between him and Minister of Petroleum, then under Jonathan. As a Senate minority leader, he was also harsh and hard on the presiding officers of the Senate. That is why he had even issue with Senator Bukola Saraki, who is more composed in terms of how he handled Senate than Fabio. If you check the history of Ahmed Lawan too, the 9th Senate president, he has also managed the Senate without too many controversies. Yes, controversies are normal at the National Assembly, but for Akpabio, it's nothing to him. That is his style. When issues crop up, he handles them the way, if you are arrogant, he will be arrogant on you. That is his style. So that is what I want to say in summary. If you are somehow a very modest person, he will handle you with courtesy. So, and I think as a leader, that principle should be relegated because of the type of institution he is representing. There is need for Akpabio to adjust more in how and manner he handle issues at the chamber. Sincerely speaking, the way they handle this man from Ningi, Senator Ningi issue, it was also harsh. And even the senators knows that Ningi was wrong. There is a lot of political statement in his allegations, but equally, by the level of his ranking, he should not have been handled in such a manner. So what I will say in summary, the reason why some of these things are happening in the Senate is because they have a very powerful leader.
A very powerful leader. In what sense?
You can't undermine someone that was a commissioner, became a governor, he was local government chairman, he was commissioner, became a governor, and become a governor of a PDP governors chairman. You know what a chairman of the PDP governors forum means? When they are incumbent, they are the majority and they are the ruling party. He now became a minister, became a senator, became a minority leader in the Senate, and now become the Senate president. So is that there is no night, there is no type, whether blue, red, what type of night that he has not passed through. So Natasha should get more advisors and take that thing in a manner that does not require forcing her way. She should explore remedy through the courts, and she should learn lessons from that. As a lawyer, you're supposed to have a rational thinking. Doing the right thing at the right time is very necessary and is crucial.
So how will you think the world will look at Nigeria now that formerly we heard from Joy Noni again that alleged the incumbent Senate president of sexual harassment? Now again, Natasha, even if it's not true,
but there are other side of the story of Nune that she is lying. That what happened is that she has not passed through the NYSC. She was supposed to be appointed as a minister of the Federal Republic. Then part of the people that reported she had not done NYSC, is Akpabio. He reported the matter to then the late Chief of Staff Abakari. I will share the story with you.
Okay.
It was a public gallery that the Senate President, International Women's Day, Senator Godswill Akpabio made that statement. And if you listen to him, he said it before a lot of women that he is not against the women. He is the first governor to appoint women his deputy. He has appointed 2 female chief judges in his state. He is the first governor to appoint a female speaker. Among other things, you understand. Then he was now raising that story of Nuni, that he mentioned 5 eminent Nigerians, only one that is dead. The rest are alive. He now asks the public and the journalists to go and inquire from those people. Even her allegation is personal. They wanted to appoint her as minister. She have a very strong connection in the presidency. Then the CV does not tally. She forged NYSC certificate according to Godswill Akpabio. So he now told them, they now call her because they love her. They now ask her to remove that NYSC certificate because she have not participated. Then they now use what is available that qualified her to be appointed and made her the MD of NDGC. So in politicians, you see, it's not all the story you believe. So these Facebook lawyers, public commentators like us, TV station lawyers, honestly, some of them are sponsored. What politician does is to project the opinion so that it will become a more popular opinion to deceive the judges. But you know what a judge is.
Okay, now let's come back. Let's come back to this allegation, this sexual harassment allegation from Senator Akpoti Uduaghan to Akpabio now. Now that she has been suspended, what happened to the petition?
It's left for the Senate to decide. What matters most is that a senator has to represent the petition for the Senate to act.
Because what I'm saying here is that if you look at the committee chairman himself, has come to national TV to even say it point blank that the senator, that the Senate president is innocent. Even before sitting, he has proved the Senate president to be innocent. Then the Senate spokesperson himself, Yemi Adaramodu, he said it even on Channel TV.
In my opinion, they are only trying to protect the Senate as an institution.
Should they be doing this at the detriment of Nigeria's image? Now, with a kind of weighty allegation, sexual harassment for that matter.
Allegation, it requires for investigation.
Now, none of them is even talking about this allegation. Now we are talking of overseas violation of overseas and trying to sweep this allegation under the carpet. Should this go like this in our Senate?
See, the truth is that the Senate as an institution should not handle this case. It should be referred to the court of law. Court of competent jurisdiction should handle this and settle the matter. I have a belief that as far as the current Senate is concerned, they have already taken side. So they should not allow to be the judge in this case. Okay. So what will clear the image of Nigerians and even the institution of the Senate is to allow the courts to decide. You see, the judiciary is completely a different organ of government. So let them make investigation. Everybody present his evidence and facts. Let the court decide. It is wrong and it will be not good for our democracy for the Senate to handle this matter. And I want to use this medium to appeal to the Nigerian Senate to reconsider suspending Senator Natasha for 6 months. Let them reduce it to at least a month. You see, the issue, suspension is meant to tell somebody that you are wrong and we need you to correct your attitude. And 30 days is okay. The reason why I'm appealing is because she is representing her people constituency, yes. And throughout this period of 6 months, they will not have somebody that they will not have a say in the Senate, and their voice matters too. It is a kind of infringement on their own rights as citizens of this country.
So in this note, what will you advise the Senate as a whole?
And equally, they should also remove the clause of withdrawing her security details and suspending the salaries of her aides. So it is actually too much and too heavy. That is why people outside are seeing them as bias.
Because if you listen to the clips very well during the suspension, after she might have left the Senate, somebody said she's not coming back. It has already
Okay, next election.
determined.
It's the constituents that matter. Sometimes these controversies make you popular.
Not even next election. That the way she is going, she's not coming back.
No, they know her attitude. The reason why, like I said, I'm a little bit somehow blaming her, the way she is behaving, she should not be.
She's not cool-headed type.
Yes, she is not even that. No matter how we be, as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, she should not be at that solo. You understand? If people do it at the state and national assembly, you understand? It does not matter. It's a place that you have a wide range of numbers and inexperienced people and youthful people. But no matter, even if you are 18 years, but I know there is caveat for the age of the senator. So even if you are 30 years, you're supposed to behave well.
Now, at this note, now let's
how they call them on the TJ, and you know
exactly,
what elderly
people.
Yes, the chamber belongs to elderly people. So irrespective of your age, you have to behave as an elite.
Okay, now let's look at from the way the whole scenario plays out now at the Senate. Do you think the Senate as a whole, most of them, are they there for their people or for themselves?
I don't want to pass judgment against all of them. There are good senators.
Most, let's say most of them.
I will take them region by region. You see, for me now, I have a hero in that National Assembly, a hero. Deputy Senate President Barrow Jibrin is a leader I so much like. He has been influencing decisions that will bring economic prosperity in his state. He has been influencing decisions that are bringing employment to Kano State. He has been influencing decisions that are favoring Northwest. So
let's say now, let's look at it.
So I can also mention another senator. If you go to the northeast, you have the like of Mungunu. If you come to the north central, you have the like of Salihu Mustafa, Para Central. Everybody is check. You are a journalist. I have never seen a first-time senator like him. He is actually kind of Tracking Lori is actually the trachea of North Central. He has been bringing things to the constituents that you can ever imagine a senator will bring.
But you know, even Senator Apoti Uduaga, being her first timer, you know, she did 1 year in office video, showcasing what
I have
she
seen
has
what
done.
she did.
Is it that maybe
she is trying, but you can't put her in the shoes of those names I mentioned, like Senator Mustala, Lawal Yakubu Adamu, Kaduna Central.
No, not
do you know
even
what it means?
her.
Do you know what it means to influence basic education over 100 classrooms across 7 local governments? Do you know what it means to give 500 million into scholarship across your federal constituency? 500 million. He has been paying school fees of completely for university, for WAEC and NECU.
Malaminu, let's come down to this now. We don't have
apart from economic and business grant.
Let's look at our Senate.
So I don't want to honestly, give me a second. Okay. Honestly, I don't want to pass a judgment against the Senate because there are eminent people in the Senate. There are a lot of them in Nigeria. You have the like.
But let's say 75%.
In Southwest, you have Senator Yayi. Honestly, there is no. We have good senators in this country.
I understand we have good senators, but at least if you are ranking by percentage,
you are in Sokoto. You know the likes of Magatika Dawamoko, the leader of leaders.
If we are saying by percentage, most of these people there, are they there for us or they are there for themselves? That is one. Then secondly, if we say we are copying the style of America, you know, in America what they do is their vice president is the Senate leader, is the Senate president there. Why are we not copying that style? Why do we omit that style?
Nigerian democracy.
Senator that were in the same manner elected to that seat, they will not propose somebody to not be heading them and that's overranking them.
No, the truth is that there was no time that it was not the senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that decided who preside over them. What the game, there was a time President Buhari asked them to choose whoever. He doesn't have a choice. What happened? The controversy did not finish. Do you know how Saraki
managed
ended?
To, yes.
Exactly. So I told you, crises of that nature are not unusual with National Assembly.
What I'm saying is, should we continue like this, or do you think?
No, Nigerian democracy is thriving. We have passed the days of raising allegation in the Senate that we can't screen a minister until he brought 50 million. There was such time in the history of this nation. We have also passed the level of we are not going to pass budget until this and that. We have also passed the era of stopping a federal ministry's budget, a critical sector, because of the head of the institution is not having a cordial relationship with the Senate. So it's gradually. We are thriving. We can't have it all at a day, but still, like I told you, who preside over the Senate or the National Assembly matters in the way and manner controversies are minimized. So it is now left for the senators and the members of the National Assembly to exercise due diligence in the way and manner they recruited who preside over them. The leadership recruitment process in the country, we need to do more to increase or to ensure effectiveness in our democratic journey. The leadership recruitment process is the issue. You look at now Abbas. He is the fourth citizen as far as the constitution is concerned. But it is my opinion that the fifth man, the deputy Senate president, is more influential than him. So the Northwest should have given somebody that is more aggressive, more vibrant. In the National Assembly, it is how you presented yourself that will determine the level of national check you can bring to the table to your constituents. So there is a lot that we also need to look at. The party primaries, the level of even delegates, who choose who to be, matters. So it's just like a computer. They say garbage in, garbage out. So there is the level and the quality of the leader you have. If you have a more synergetic leader in the Senate, you will not be having too much controversies. Yes, controversies are in nature. They are there. But depending on the time and the nature of leadership you have. So I want to appeal to the senators to, in the spirit of also protecting the integrity of their institution, they should also be mindful that there are onlookers, there are also judges outside that are looking, and whatever decision they make affect their integrity too, as individuals and as a Senate.
On this note now, what advice do you have for Nigerians, taking side on Senator Akpabio and taking side on Senator Akpoti Uduaghan?
You see, we Nigerians, we always look at leadership from the outside. So I want to appeal to other citizens like me to always look leadership far beyond what the eyes can just see. It is honestly a very big role. It is not an ordinary thing. Leadership comes a lot of with challenges and responsibilities. So we should not be mindful of only the privileges they are enjoying. There are a lot of challenges before them. I had the opportunity to speak to then. He was in the 8th Senate, Senator from Zulu, Balana Allah, in Kaduna. I met him, then I greeted him because I'm very passionate about the way he's a very intelligent lawyer too. During his days in the Senate, I introduced myself. He was happy at a private clinic. I now told him, he said he has been following me on Twitter. I disagree, he now showed me. So the conversation keep going on like 15 minutes. I now asked him this question. I say, sir, why is it that politicians make promises they don't fulfill? Because I have seen you to be a leader with Dokro. He say, Mr. Gada, a majority of Nigerians too are looking leadership from the outside. When you come inside, it is
different thing entirely.
Yes, it comes with, we only see the privileges, but he told me there are a lot of challenges and responsibilities. He told me that in a day, from his constituency, he attended to over 1,000 text messages. In a day. And he showed me his phone. I saw over 4,000. I saw over 4,000. He said this is weekend messages. That because of this hospital visit, I was unable to look and address some of them.
Now, if we are to look at this, following what you just said now, that you receive more than thousands of calls during the weekend now, as a person representing his own constituency now, looking at this now, won't or can't the other senators copy from even what Senator Uduaghan has done by showcasing what she has done? Because if you look at this, most of these senators representing their people, I don't think most of them have anything to showcase. That is, this is what I have done for
some
my people.
Some are actually greater than the others. In the Senate, you can have distinction. There are senators that if you now, I read them with distinction. There are second class offer. There are second class lower. There are third class. There are pass. And there are failure.
There are some that they always support.
They do not fall to any category, any class. Yes, they are completely failure. And the worst part of it, some of these senators usually return because of the influence of their party and the governors in their respective states. So these are some of the issues. I don't want to be mentioning them so that today somebody can sue me. But in Zamfara, how many senators do you can mention? Tell me who is the senator representing Zamfara Central. You are a journalist.
He has always been silent.
But he has not been in the news.
Of course.
He has never been in the news for 2 years. So if you ask somebody in Zamfara in secondary school, he may not tell you, except if he is from his constituency.
And that was why I asked that question in the first place. That these people claiming
there is no type. There is no type that you don't have in the boss chambers. There are dormant members. There are active members. But we should not use the dormancy level to disqualify the rest of them. There are senators that are doing extremely and exceptionally well. Like I mentioned, in the Southwest, you have the likes of Yai, the chairman Senate Committee on Appropriation. His quality of contribution in the Senate is amazing. If you come to North Central, I can mention Salih Mustafa. His quality of contribution to his constituency and even contribution in the lawmaking business is amazing. You see in the Northwest, like I mentioned, you have the DSP Barojibrin, you have Lawal Yakubu Adamu. He is a PDP. Lawal Yakubu, that I mentioned, is a PDP senator. So if you come to Sokoto, we have the likes of Magataka. You can't quantify the level of gesture he has been extending out. In fact, there is this popular name they call him in Sokoto, Senator Without Border. Senator Without Border. Last month, I have led a delegation of 10 youth association to his business support grant at Godabawa, giving them 500,000.
So maybe on our next video, we'll come and talk about what is happening here in Sokoto compared to previous.
I will do it with all sense of responsibility.
Maybe that's going to be our next video.
No problem. No problem. So let us not use the bad ones and honestly
disregard the good ones.
Disregard the good ones. But like I said, globally they say the biggest room that is yet to be filled is the room for improvement. I believe the distinction ones and the legal ones, all of them, they can improve. There is room for improvement.
Thank you very much, Malamino, for your time. Thank you for coming to the program, and thank you for answering our invitation.
Thank you for always identifying with me and finding me worthy to be a discussant in your program.
Thank you.
I so much appreciate it. Thank you very much.
On top this one, now we will close the curtain on top the program today. Inshallah, our next video is going to be on whether we should go on parliamentary system of government or presidential system of government. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share at Emir Presenter. Thank you. Peace out.